Hello everyone, what is the number one thing you need to watch when you invest in stocks? The number one, the first driver that you need to pay attention to when you invest in stock. If you want to find out, stick around, that'll be interesting. Hello investors, let's talk about one of the first drivers that is should be a cornerstone of your investment strategy when talking about investing in stocks. That would be the number one little discussion that we'll do on investment strategy. And that driver is what exactly? Well, let's find out. If you invest in a stock on one day, you're supposed to invest in a company, have some shares of that company, and the most important thing for that company is on a day-to-day basis is to make some sales, right? To sell products, right? So as an investor, it should be your top priority as well. Sales is what drives the company up, or at least the stock price up, and also make the company grow. So in the light of this, where do we start with sales? How can you crush the number very quickly to get the best sales numbers out there, to get the best companies with the best sales numbers? So let's start now. So first off, you're here on the first page. As you know, there's a bunch of widgets that you can use there. But below, there is a screener, which you can use several filters here, of which one is the EPS matrix. So before we go into the filter of the screener here, let's go into the EPS matrix. So the matrix is basically EPS and sales numbers. You can toggle here between the two. And let's focus on sales. So I click on sales, and here I see the last quarters. This is the last quarter, and before last, and so on. The last 4 quarters, the last 8 quarters, 12 quarters in sales. So the last sales numbers have been published on the 19th of August 2020, and it was 3,866. The year before was 2,500. So what you really want to see here is a growing number from this quarter to the next, and also a growing number from this year to next year, right? And that growth is very important. Actually, what investors and professional investors are looking for here is the growth between one quarter to the next. From one quarter to a similar one to the previous one is much less important because you have seasonality, so it's less meaningful. The most meaningful one is you take the same quarter at the same period last year and you compare it with one another. So here's the number, 50%. 50% is the difference between those two quarters. It's a 50% increase between those two numbers. So that is the growth between these two quarters. 39 is the growth between these two quarters, and so on. 41 and so on. So as you can see, the company has been selling 41%, 39%, 50% up, and growing every quarter, right? So this is very, very good. The second thing you can do here, and that's truly unique, and you cannot find that elsewhere, is monitor the acceleration. So the acceleration is very simple. It is the difference between 49 here and 50. You know how fast this growth is increasing. So as you can see here, it's 11% of acceleration between the growth here. So this is what you want. You want companies with increasing sales, of course, growth, but also acceleration, right? So how do I go and search and screen for these companies? Well, let's go to the screener. Okay, so in the screener, this is what you will have. A bunch of fields that you can search for. There's actually 100 plus of them. The big category is the EPS matrix here. So you click on that and you open the box and see all the fields. The first fields are for earnings. The next ones are for sales. So you start with sales surprise, and that would be how Wall Street has been surprised by the published numbers in the last quarter. And as you can see, you can filter. You now have 748 stocks. Now, with market cap greater than $1 billion, the price greater than about $10, and that have had a positive price change since the beginning of the quarter. So that's the sales surprise. But then you can go into the sales Q over Q minus 4% change. Again, this is the number you see here, the 50% on the matrix. So let's filter on that. Let's have a positive change here, right? 1%. We have 328 tickers. Actually, you know what? Let's push it a little bit more to 15%. So that's truly great growth in terms of sales. So 162 stocks there. So pretty interesting. Second thing is you want the pace or the acceleration of that growth, right? So this is again the number you find here is 1116. That acceleration of growth. So again, positive number here you're looking for, and let's put it like above 0, and that's it. So now I only have 85 stocks with positive acceleration, positive growth, and beat their sales numbers and the surprise when they publish the numbers. Now what you want to do is you also want to have a positive sequential positive sales acceleration. So that means that for the last, let's say, 2 quarters, I want all the companies that actually had their acceleration increase. Right? So now I only have 35 stocks that match that criteria, which are stocks that constantly beat their growth and have accelerating growth. That's what you want to capture. Right, that is what is very important. The second thing is you want, no, not this one. You want this one, sequential increase in sales. So you want constant increase in sales numbers sequentially. So let's say at least 2 quarters. Right. So here I'm down to 18 stocks, which are truly unique in sales, growing very highly. I can even go and look at another metrics that is the sigma sales here. So this is a standard deviation of how the sales number is compared to historical numbers. So for example, this one is only 173 standard deviation. This one is 92. This one's 3 standard deviation. So that's truly unique sales numbers that has never been seen in history, right? So if you go into lows, for example, you can see that sales have been increasing constantly, 2%, 11%, 30%. The acceleration is 1916, so it's pretty awesome. It was 8 and 2, so accelerating for the past 3 quarters, and stocks has been rallying for the past period. So again, true winners in sales. This is really one of the most, if not the most important thing that you need to look at when you invest in a company. Because you know what? This is what companies do. They try to sell more product, right? So just follow what the company is trying to achieve here. More sales. So you want companies with more sales and growing sales. All right. I think that was useful. Hopefully it was for you too. This is the first of a series of investment strategy tools that you have to have when you invest in good stocks. Again, I hope you find it useful. Thank you very much for your attention.